Welcome to the Real and Raw podcast. This is Agent Zero. I'm your host, Jordan Anderson. Before we get started, step into a world of wellness with Lucia Eye Blue Light Glasses. From combating eye strain to improving sleep, Lucia Eyes has you covered. With lenses designed for day and night, Lucia Eyes brings you the perfect blend of fashion and function. Reduces eye strain, it improves sleep quality, and also the prevention of the digital eye fatigue. Prioritize your eye health by visiting LuciaEyes.com today and use promo code TWINBIRDS20 for an exclusive 20% off your next order. I want to give a special thank you to Danny Huber and the founder of Lucia Eyes for sponsoring the Real and Raw podcast here at StudioPlace in Los Angeles. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Real and Raw podcast with Agent Zero. I'm your host, Jordan Anderson, and to the left of me, I have my man, my guy, Dietrich Riley, in the building. Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you, man. Appreciate you having me, dog.
How you feeling? How everything been going for you?
Everything is great, man. Especially we in the holiday season, you know, so I'm always in a great mood, you know. So
Thanksgiving did just pass.
Thanksgiving was great, man. It was great, man. Just being around the family. You know, but it's the fourth quarter now, so just making sure business is tight, and on a positive note, and carry that momentum into the Mamba year 24. So
yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to be here.
Most definitely. Speaking of Thanksgiving, before we get into it, what's your favorite Thanksgiving meal?
My favorite one, man, is funny. So I'm pescatarian, like so I don't eat meat and all that stuff, but you know sometimes I have like a little mac and cheese, like you know. Like a potato casserole.
Most definitely.
Yes, I just got on the stuffing like vibe. Like I never used to eat stuffing as a kid or cranberry sauce. I feel like that's the most like underrated type of like spread, you know. But as I got older, my taste buds adjusted. But I would say mac and cheese, potato casserole. Them is like that combination is.
That's the two.
Chef's kiss.
You ever had the mac and cheese and yam combo?
Oh, of course. Yeah, you gotta have that next to each other. Yeah. If you don't have it next to each other, like I'm questioning your plate.
Yeah, that's the only.
I seen a few questionable plates on IG. I was like, y'all tripping.
Every year though, it's always somebody post their food. I'm like, you know you wrong for posting.
Nah, for real. Especially, and it's like it's funny. One of my good friends, like he made his first turkey this year, and he felt the pressure, and he was just like. The thing is, man, it's like you don't know how to marinate it, and it's very dry. So you got to really put that thing on there, make that sauce. You know what I'm saying? But it was funny just watching that behind the scenes. But nah, man, I love Thanksgiving food.
Nah, yeah, that's one of the biggest roll. It's either you on the turkey roll or you on the mac and cheese duty. That's the biggest one.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
I'm not really a big fan of stuffing either, too. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
it's cool, but it's not one of my favorites. I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, folks can make it real dry.
Literally, and that's the same with turkey too. That's why I'm not a big turkey fan for real. Like I'd rather it be like smoked or fried for real before it's just regularly baked. Though.
Yeah, see, the fam, we do both. We do a baked and we do a fried turkey.
Okay, yeah. So y'all had the best of both worlds.
Oh yeah, we got you, man.
Got you. All right. So make sure you let's get into it. Just tell everybody, where you from, how you got to UCLA. Obviously, you were a football player.
Yeah.
So tell everybody how you got to that.
Yeah. So born and raised in Pasadena, which was dope. I was able to play at the Rose Bowl, be in my backyard. I attended St. Francis High School in La Cañada. My coach, the late Jim Bonds, he was also a quarterback at UCLA. So when it came down for me narrowing my decision in high school, it was real tough. Like, cause I was committed, to USC since a freshman, So that's where I was set on going. And then things had kind of like shifted within my recruiting process. UCLA really started coming after me real aggressively. Coach Neuheisel, and we had a very special recruiting class. That 2010 class, man, was like we set it off. We came in here with high expectations. It was myself. We had Anthony Barr, Eric Kendricks. Cassius Marsh. We had some dogs.
I had somebody on this podcast, Donovan Carter. He was on there too.
Yeah, DC. Yeah, man. So he's a couple classes before me, but so yeah, man, I was able to attend UCLA and came in as a true freshman. Competed and contributed right away. But then my sophomore year, I had a big adjustment. That's when I suffered an injury and stuff. But yeah, man, UCLA was dope, man. I was there from 2010 to 2014.
Definitely. What was your injury?
So I had a herniated disc. I suffered versus Cal my sophomore year, October 29, 2011. And still to this day, man, if I could take a few plays back from that game I wish I could have changed, I would have, man. Like I dropped a pick. We was in a combo coverage in the slot on a key third down versus Keenan Allen. read it perfectly,
Oh,
dropped the pick, trying to use my body rather than my hands, dropped the
Oh,
money.
that's
And
money in the
then, yeah,
bag.
man, they had it was in a 2 minute drill, or like not in a 2 minute, but as they had a big momentum drive, and they were just marching on us. And I came down, um, and I just, rather than taking that extra step, I dipped my head and, paralyzed myself top and bottom, man. So it was crazy, man. But I'm here today. I'm breathing. I'm alive, man.
Blessed.
But it was a big pivot I had to make in life, man. My career came to an end, but it was crazy.
Definitely. You say you were paralyzed from top to bottom.
Yeah.
So was it like in that state, in that moment, how long was you paralyzed for?
Yeah, the duration had to be around like 20, 30 minutes, man. Top and bottom, I couldn't feel anything, and slowly but surely it went from the fingers to my feet and my legs. I started getting my feeling back. Like I was fully aware of what was going on. I was
But you
conscious,
couldn't feel
and I just
nothing.
remember when I made the tackle, Jordan Zumwalt, my linebacker, came up to me. He's just like laughing, like, "Come on, man, get up, Dietrich. Like, let's keep this drive going. Let's go." And I'm like, "Bro, I can't move. I
Yeah.
can't move." But then, like I said, they had to cart me off. We went to the hospital, ran all the, did all the, CT scans, X-rays, and all that stuff, and I was discharged that night. Thank
Yeah, no,
God.
that's
But
a blessing for sure.
yeah, so it was, like I said, it was a C3, C4 disc that was like, pinched against my nerves, and that's what caused for me to be paralyzed. But
Nah,
I'm here, man.
I can tell you that looked like it's a vivid moment, especially how you explained it for sure.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. They told me I was very thankful to be alive or not be paraplegic. So yeah, when I heard that, man,
Just all
that's
you
a
can do is just
yeah,
be
as a
thankful.
20-year-old, I'm
Yeah,
like,
no, that's
man,
scary. That's scary for sure, most
yeah,
definitely.
yeah, man. But sometimes life throws curveballs at you.
Right.
It's all about how you respond to it.
Definitely. No, I didn't have that similar injury, but I know somebody that was in a similar situation. I was in the game my freshman year, and my one of my teammates, Jerry Roberts, he was a linebacker. He liked to hit with his head a lot.
Yeah,
So then we had made a tackle. He had hit. I guess, obviously he came down with his head down, made the tackle. But then they was running tempo, so everybody was lining up quick. So then he was running to get to the other side, and
right,
like when he was running, he literally like almost just fell down and like went face first.
right.
And it was like he tripped, but he's a silly guy, so we think I'm laughing. I'm like, get up, bro. Like
Yeah,
same my bro was like
right.
laughing, right?
Yeah,
And then like he wasn't moving. I'm like, oh my, oh. So yeah, it was crazy for real. But obviously he wasn't paralyzed, nothing like that.
right,
But obviously he had like a little concussion a little bit.
right.
But it's just this is just ironic that same thing can happen like that. Like you don't think people be in that type of situation. You think they're playing, or like it's just like a misfortunate situation for sure.
Is an aggressive sport, man. People don't realize what they sign up for. That's why you got to really, when you out there, practice your technique. And what I do love nowadays that they've implemented the right practicing in terms of taking off the load on us players, or
Most
you guys, I'm
definitely.
sorry, in terms of like how many padded practices and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, man, we're banging daily.
Yeah,
So it's like we got
definitely.
to make sure our bodies are fresh when we go into these games. If not, then it could be one episode that could change the whole dynamic of someone's career. So I'm glad to see that, not just the NFL, but in the collegiate sports, high school, that they've been doing things to really, protect the players, and, you know, also coaching the right way to tackle,
Yeah.
put in those, the roll tackles, the rugby tackles and stuff like that, because there's no way guys should be getting injured, man.
No,
We gotta
definitely.
protect our players out there.
Definitely, I'm very appreciative of that too, for sure. Just
Right.
only because, like you said, you're out there banging and grinding, like week in and week out, day in and day out. So
Right.
like your body could give out at any point,
At
for
any
real, for
given
real.
at any given time.
Only thing I don't like about it, like obviously I'm all for a safe precaution and
Of
like
course.
playing good and like make sure everybody is not injured.
Right.
But I feel like the game is just a little bit more soft than usual.
1000%, man.
But and I feel like somebody would make a tackle and it'd be rough or it'd be physical, but it wasn't like they quick to call target for
Of
everything
course,
nowadays. And
especially,
that's really what it
man.
is for real.
And that could change the whole outcome of the game, man. Just for players getting ejected in college, man,
Definitely.
it sucks to see.
I done got a couple
Oh yeah,
almost targets on
yeah.
my
That's why you
case.
can't put
Yeah.
the game in the ref's hands. That's why it's
Yeah.
like, hey man, take them legs out or do something rather than
Definitely.
targeting that
The
that neck area.
for sure. And then, like you said, just how it was back then. Like back then, people was just hitting they was hitting head first.
Right.
And then like equipment wasn't evolving how
Right.
how it is now. So they only had just a little bit of
So much
padding in the
shock
hat.
absorption that you guys got
Literally.
in the padding of the helmets now,
And
man.
that's what I feel like it helps them. I mean it helps us, but not them back then too, because most of the CTE cases come from players back then now, but that's only just
Facts.
because they was hit with their head, didn't have the proper equipment, or it
Right.
wasn't evolved all the way.
Right.
And then like you said, as far as precaution goes, like it wasn't there wasn't a certain amount of padded practices or periods or
Correct.
practice they could do. And then how we don't have tour days
I
now, but
know.
like
It's
they used to
crazy.
have tour days,
Yeah.
3 days even. I'm like,
Yeah. Come on,
I
man.
be
That's
thinking my,
OD.
I be
It's
thinking
OD,
myself, I be
man.
thinking myself like, I be like, nah, ain't no
Come
way
on,
I'm
man.
going.
Like
You
I
think I might?
understand we trying to instill toughness, but at the
Man,
same time
what?
we got to work smarter, not harder.
No, most definitely, most definitely.
Facts.
You think I'm about to get up at 6 in the morning, come
Come
practice,
on, man.
then turn around, come back and practice again for you?
Make it make
Crazy,
sense.
crazy. That's what I'm saying, man. I don't know, but that's a great. That's a great inspiration story for somebody for sure,
Absolutely.
definitely. So you moved on. You stopped playing UCLA. Obviously, you graduated from UCLA.
Absolutely.
So now you're one of the biggest real estate agents in California. Talk about how you got into that.
Yeah, so, after I graduated from UCLA, I kind of was unsure which, path I want to take in life. I was like, do I want to continue coaching, be around the game of football? But it was just too early, too soon. I was still dwelling on the loss of football, and I just felt like it was just, like I said, just too soon. So I went into modeling, when model with Ford Models, still signed to this day. I signed in 2014, Ford LA and Ford New York, which is one of the biggest modeling agencies in the world, and was able to do some great things. Do New York Fashion Week, was able to, model for like the biggest companies out there. Just to name a few was like, Lululemon, Gap, Tommy Hilfiger,
I didn't know Lululemon
Levi's.
was out that long.
Yeah, man, it's been around for a
That's
minute,
crazy.
but yeah, so I was able to do some great campaigns and stuff. But then after that, I just felt like, I really didn't see myself modeling my whole life, because
Right.
at the end of the day, man, that window, it closes. So I figure, at the end of the day, the richest people are tied to real estate. At the end of the day, uh, when I was a kid, I used to always drive down, neighborhoods and just say, I want to build something, or I want to own this building. So then opportunity came about. I was able to intern, get my feet wet. I was able to learn, all facets of the business, whether it's property management, whether it's uh, residential leasing, apartments and stuff like that. Then also was able to learn construction. And then COVID had happened. I was like, all right, well, now I need to get my license so I can actually get a piece of the pie and actually be able to get some deals. 'Cause I love watching shows like Million Dollar Listing and stuff like that. And I just loved architecture. I was always enamored with it and just the whole process. And I'm just like, at the end of the day, we all need shelter. Not everyone wants to get rained on. So I'm like, all right, I think it's the time that I get my license and I could really contribute and really, make some great things happen. And then plus I had a great network of, people that, whether it's from athletes and entertainers. I just felt it was the appropriate time for me to get my license. So I was able to, it's a funny story how I was able, once I got my license, um, I met with all the top brokers in all of Beverly Hills, West Hollywood, and how I got situated with Sotheby's was from a buddy of mine who was a walk-on at UCLA, and I'm stumbling upon, reading all these, real estate articles online about all the top brokers in Beverly Hills, and then this one name came up and it stood out to me, and they just said her name was Nisha Go, and she had left Compass and went to Sotheby's Beverly Hills, and she was one of the top producers. And I said, I need to do my research and see who this is. So I read up on her, and come to find out, she was engaged to one of my old teammates at UCLA. Called him instantly, and I just said, hey, I want to take a meeting with your fiance. Like, can she just give me a little bit more insight about the brokers here in Los Angeles, because I need to figure out where I'm going to hang my license at. And she was able to be such a great resource, and till this day I'm working with her. And that's just, as I tell everyone, never burn bridges, because you just never know.
You
And
never know.
say if I treated her husband wrong when he was a walk-on, me being a starter again, because at the end of the day, you just never know who's in the locker room and what,
And who you gonna need down
who
the
you gonna
line.
need down the
Yeah.
road. So I was always good with them, and I was able to, make a smooth transition to the industry and make some great things happen. In 2020, Two, we sold over 293 million in deals, from new construction all the way onto all the beautiful spec homes that you see in all of, ranging from Calabasas, Hidden Hills. We've done deals in Pacific Palisades, Bel Air. We've been all over, so we've been doing great things, and we got some special things brewing for 2024. So it's been a great transition, and I feel like I'm just getting my feet wet, and I'm hungry to do great things in this business for a long time.
Most definitely. So you said you said she was a broker. So what's the difference between are you a broker as well?
No, we're agents.
Okay, we're
So our broker is Sotheby's.
Oh, okay,
We're just real
got
estate
you.
agents. So as a broker, you need somewhere to hang your license at.
Okay.
So short for brokerage. And so yeah, at the end of the day, I don't like to. We're real estate agents, but I
Yeah.
feel like we're more than just agents. I
Got
always,
you.
when people ask like, where do you label yourself as within the industry? I say I'm an estates advisor, because at the end of the day, we're advising people on whether it's a good investment or a bad investment. If it's something they need to, proceed with, and because then, man, money is money. People want to
Right.
make sure that they're putting their money in the right places and it's going to work well for them. And always advise people that, real estate is something that will always, pays dividends down the line, So I do a lot of great deals, on the buying side and also on the residential, leasing side, people that, need apartments, condos, or, whether it's homes as well. I represent a lot of clients on that, whether it's athletes that are, here in the city, whether, they're here for, vacation properties. I do all that type of stuff. So it's been fun, man. And there's many ways to make money in this business, and I'm all for it.
Definitely got you. So when you first got into it and you first got your license and you were, going out trying to sell residential leases or, houses or construction,
Right.
how was that process? Because it's always like kind of hard in the beginning, trying to, especially like with real estate agent, trying to sell someone a house because,
Right.
like you said, that's an investment for them and their family. So
Right.
how hard was it? Did you get like rejected a lot when you first got in there, or how was that?
Absolutely. And I'm glad you asked that. I was able to make some great connections. I was getting a lot of positive feedback. And then, of course, I would have some owners go cold on me.
Right.
Like I would just meet with them and they were, yeah, I want to, I'm interested in selling. I was just cold calling because at the time when I got licensed, it was COVID.
Right.
So we were still limiting the access of, having the face-to-face interaction with people. So how I got some of my business or some of my leads, as we call them, was through cold calling. And I was just making sure at the end of the day, I wasn't selling them on,
Right.
the fact that, hey, or do you want to buy? But I had to come forward to them and be honest, because I was able to be around some great people on my team that were just like, hey, we need to farm some areas. These are what my clients are looking for. We need you to work this area and get your feet wet and be comfortable being on the phone. And then once I'm able to, bypass that step and get in front of people, the rest is on us. But yeah, it was tough, man. I didn't close my first transaction until like, a couple months into me getting my deal. And how I got that deal was through a buddy of mine from high school. He's like, hey, I have a friend of mine that's actually about to, move out of their apartment that they've been renting for X amount of years. Now they're ready to be a first time home buyer. And I was able to, gain their trust because they were working originally with a family member that's been licensed for, has been in the business for a long amount of time. But I just said, let me just shoot me their information. Let me just take a call with them. And they ended up going with me, and we beat out we beat out several offers on this property, and I was able to get them this house 5,000 over asking compared to someone that came in 90,000 over asking.
Wow.
So I just had to be very creative and use my tools and present attractive terms to the seller and the agent, develop a great relationship with them, and just doing things like that, man. Just thinking outside the box.
Got you. How long is the process for trying to get someone for listing a house and then finding someone to buy the house and then going through all the process of them, finally signing off on buying the house? How long is that process?
It all differs, man, because especially around the 2020, 2021,
Yeah, it was
properties were closing in record speed.
really.
All cash offers. Like I said, if you're coming in all cash, usually it's gonna be a quick escrow. But if you're gonna be getting the banks involved and doing like the loan process, it could be a standard 30 days or longer. It just all differs. But like I made closes in 14 days, all cash with my investor clients that we do fix and flips with, or, you know, I've had, you know, standard 21-day escrows. So it just all depends, man. I've heard of people closing in 7 to 10 days.
That's crazy.
It just all, like, there'd be some people that would say, I don't even want to go inside the house, waive all our contingencies. I just want to get in there and just buy it, because some people were just so desperate at that time. But nowadays, people were taking a much slower approach, you know, in certain areas, depending on the dollar amount, and being very, you know, thorough, making sure that it is the right purchase, because economically right now, you know, with rates where we're at and with interest rates, it's very tough. So some people want to make sure it makes sense.
Okay, yeah. So basically, like when somebody say like, yeah, they don't want to see it, they just want to buy it right now. Do you like hold off? Do you like try to hold them off from like buying it, like make sure like this is the right one, or you just say fuck it, take the money?
I don't want to discourage them, but I just want to make sure at the end of the day, this is a reflection on me. So I want to make sure, I don't want it to come back and bite me in the ass.
Right.
So I want to make sure I'm conducting as many reports, and like I said, I want to gain as much information as I can from the listing agent to kind of know what's the property history. What are the sellers, what's their motivation for selling? What's the ballpark figure that they, you know, what do they want to aim towards to sell? What do they want to achieve? But also, what are, you know, we have to put in, like, it depends if someone, at the end of the day, everyone has a different reason, a motive for buying. And if someone's like, hey, I'm selling and I need to get somewhere right away. All right, we'll make sure when we're going into our inspection, we'll, you know, going for, you know, we can have it for 3 to 5 days. We can have it for 7 days to make sure we have that contingency removed. So every situation is different in this industry. So at the end of the day, like I said, I don't want it to bite me in the ass. So I always want to make sure I cover myself. And also, I hold my clients' interests at best heart. Right. So I want to protect them. So, and that's all it's about, man. It's a people leading industry, man. So I want to make sure it's always a great experience with a client, because it's a referral business. So I want them to be able to refer business to me down the line, or say if they want to sell down the line or buy down the line a secondary property, that they trust me.
Right.
It's all about trust.
No, I definitely agree with you too, because like, you know, growing up, my mom had a landlord. Like our landlord was pretty shitty. So like he'd do stuff like he sold us the house or whatever, or didn't sell, or it was leased, I don't know. Right. But like he didn't want to like fix up or like do certain stuff. He complained about doing certain stuff for real about the house which was his, how he sold it to us. Right. So like that's why, like, when she was able to actually buy a house, then it was like, okay, yeah, you know, we're not going with him again, because like what he was doing like the whole time we was in our other house. Right. So I definitely can agree with that.
100%.
You had said that you were beating out competition. Is that I know it's probably a very competitive industry for sure. So how does that work as far as it being competitive? Like, as far as like, do you outbid each other in that industry, or?
Yeah, man. Especially, you gotta think about it. Los Angeles is a gold mine. Right. You know, so there's a joke that there are more, you know, agents in LA than homes on the market.
Yeah. So they probably not lying either.
So you're competing with so many people that are agents out here. So you got to do things creatively to, you know, prospect and generate business. But like I said, when you're going against, if it's a property that's going to be, that you feel, okay, when we do our due diligence and say, all right, this is in a great area, a great, you know, great location, great school district, and it checks all the boxes interior wise. You just got to do things, you know, to build that trust with the agent as well, and not BS them, because they could kind of fish and figure out if someone's just coming just to kind of window shop. And that's one thing agents do not want to do. They don't want to waste their time. Right. You can't be reimbursed. So you got to make sure when you're talking to them, you're very straightforward, give them the information that they need, you know, regarding your client's interests, and, you know, go from there, man. And that's how I've been able to, you know, do great things, and just building a great rapport with those that are been representing, you know, sellers or buyers.
Got you. So I know you see yourself doing this probably a good amount of time, but how long in you estimate? You think it's for 10 years, 20 years? I know some people be in real estate for forever.
No, and that's I see myself being in it forever, man. And, you know, whether it's other business, you know, ventures that I plan on doing down the line, I can always sell real estate. Right. I can always do that. I can always represent myself. You know, I can always represent, you know, family members, anyone down the line. And whether it's here in California, the Sotheby's network is so enormous. I'm actually working with a relative that's acquiring a property in a different state. So I could literally just go into my database and find the top agents in each city, each state, each country. We're across 78 countries, and I could literally make a call or email and be able to work with people all over the world. So there's no definite timeline, man. I could definitely see myself doing this for a long time and do great things, and be amongst the best and compete.
Gotcha.
Bring that same mindset from football into this field of work.
Most definitely, I feel like that help a lot of people though, for sure. Just like the morals, the lessons you learn, just like the competitive mindset when you go into a job first or a career. I feel like you get that edge a little bit only because like it's the mindset that you
Right.
like you've been dealing with. It's been instilled with you for months and years. I feel like it gets you the edge over people.
100%. Yeah, football teaches you a lot about life and business, man. So I just, at the end of the day, it's never personal. It's just business. So I'm
Right.
always trying to make sure I'm able to handle rejection well and just next play, move on.
No, literally, that's how it is for sure.
Yeah.
What would you tell somebody that wants to start working real estate? What would be your advice?
Find your niche. What is it, that you feel you may excel at, whether it's working with athletes, entertainers, first time home buyers, investment, buyers. There's so many things, whether it's Airbnbs, there's so many ways that you can nurture business and do well at. So my advice to those is first get your license, because you can't do anything without a license, but also figure out what area that you're familiar with and what area you see yourself wanting to, mark and mark a stamp, because, you can really sell real estate and do anything all over, man. So that's my advice.
So you don't need a specific degree for real estate. You just
You don't.
need a certification.
You need your certification, and also you have to take the state exam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably hard too. For sure.
Nah, it's not. I've heard of some people, that have failed multiple times, but at the end of the day, man, it's just common sense.
True.
It's just common sense and just knowing it's all a word game. And I feel like, if you prepare and you put in the work, it shouldn't be difficult. So I was able to knock it out the first time in 30 minutes. And it's a 3.5 hour exam. But,
Oh,
like I said, it's just common sense and
most
just,
definitely.
knowing the vocabulary. And, like I said, I've had experience on the leasing side, but also property management. So I was able to kind of like plug things together in no certain scenario, so it wouldn't trick me.
So Airbnb, you brought up Airbnb as that's a part of real estate as
Yeah.
well. And so is that more so in like the property management type of area field?
Yeah, so you could have a client, or you could be you could be owning a property or something. You put it
Yeah.
on Airbnb. I've had clients that have had, tons of Airbnbs, whether it's in Palm Springs, all over. But of course, they're going to take a certain percentage because they're going to be the ones that are going to be managing the property. You have vacation rental by owner, which is Verbo.
Yeah,
There's
okay.
so many things, like I said, for vacation type properties and stuff. Um, like, you have, everyone's always willing to come to LA. It's such a hot, like I said, such a hot market. Everyone wants to be here, for, a short duration, or there's so many things you could do.
That's crazy. I thought it was more so like if it was Airbnb, if you just had somebody like a house or like an apartment, you could just rent it and get paid for it.
Now, first of all, if you're not the owner of it, you got to make sure,
Well, yeah, I'm
that
saying, yeah, if you was
you got to
the
make sure the
yeah.
management company or whoever it
Okay.
is of the complex is going to allow it. You just can't,
Okay.
you
I didn't
can't
know
just
that.
like throw it on Airbnb. You
I
got to,
didn't know that.
yeah, I've heard some crazy stories, man.
For real?
Like, yeah, people just trying to Airbnb or peer space some,
For
a
real?
place, and guess what? They find the property manager finds out, or landlord finds out, and it's a whole disaster.
So can y'all sue that? Y'all can sue that person for doing that, or
It's like, man,
it's a lot.
that's the one thing you want to avoid is that
Nah,
that
I'm already
litigation,
knowing.
all that, man. But yeah, man, it's many things you could do.
No, I get it. Now I see why Airbnb people be tripping a little bit for
Yeah,
sure.
like for example, like I
For
know
sure.
Palm Springs and I know Orange County, they're starting to
Yeah.
ban
Really?
Airbnb because you have certain people that are going into these areas, throwing parties, trashing up the
I mean,
place.
yeah, that's what it's more so Airbnb as far
Yeah,
as like
so
throwing if you're not staying somewhere, I mean obviously you're probably gonna be out of town or like on vacation.
right.
But more so like I feel like that's more so like the groove now, or that's what the norm is now, is more so just getting Airbnb and throwing a party there because obviously it's not your
Nah,
career.
these people are getting what they're asking so much information nowadays. These managers, they're like, "What is your reason for staying here? What's the duration? How many people are staying here?"
Yeah.
So they want to make sure everything is ran properly. But like I said, Orange County, Palm Springs, a lot of these places are forcing owners to sell these properties because they're banning Airbnb because it's ruining the integrity of the neighborhood because you're constantly having this flow of traffic of new people. And like I said, whether it's they're partying and all this type of stuff, just acting out of character and just doing things to destroy it, these people are like they're ruining for others. So like I said, it's a crazy, it's a crazy time right now. So you got to just make sure that if you are wanting to get into that, if you do want to Airbnb your house, that it's permitted in that area. So that's stuff you got to do your due diligence about.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
To shift back, I know you were talking about earlier. You said you were in modeling for a good amount of time. How many years? You said what? Probably
Since
5,
2014. So it's
You
about
still
to be,
you still doing it?
still
You're
doing it. Yeah, I'm still signed with Ford.
But it's not as heavy as it was before you was doing real estate.
No, I'm still doing campaigns. Like I've still done some good ones. I just shot actually last week it showed on it I did a commercial with Amazon Prime for Black Friday. It was the Jets and Miami Dolphins game. I did a commercial for them.
Wow.
And I've done Gillette recently. I've done what was it, United Airlines. I did a campaign for them. So I'm always facilitating and doing good
How
work.
did you get into that? Did you say how you got into that? Or?
No, I didn't. So I just went in for an open call, man. Like, cause when I was in college, I was able to, build up a following on Instagram.
Right. Yeah.
When back then when it was just the popular page, when it was only, I think, 16 posts per page or whatever.
Oh, really?
So I was able to get on the popular page, gain all these followers. And then when I graduated, like I said, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And my dad was like, man, you need to, just take your ass on into a modeling agency and,
right.
Go see Ford. I'm like, who was Ford? The Ford, you talking about the
Ford driving company?
Ford driving company, they got a modeling agency. So like I said, I was
That's what I thought when you first. I'm like,
yeah, Ford models, man. So I went, chopped it up with them. And then yeah, they didn't even let me leave the building, man. They signed me right there on the spot.
Oh, wow.
And so from that point on, man, I was just able to, like I said, do some good work, man, and work with all these brands that I never envisioned myself doing.
Yeah.
But it was fun, man. It's like I would come in there, no nonsense, be all about my work, man. I wasn't trying to like party or be around nobody. I was like, man, let me just get in here, get my work done, and most importantly, build these relationships because at the end of the day, it's a relationship, business. So if you build a great rapport with the casting director or, the producer, guess what? They're going to want to rebook you for the next campaign. So that's what I just kept doing. I would go in there, show up on time, make sure I was conducting myself like with great manners and being about my business. And they was like, all right, we want to continue to rebook you for the next shoot. So that's how I was able to get into it, man, was just through an open call. Back then when they had it, nowadays there's so much exposure. You got the Instagram, you got certain agencies that'll reach out to you directly, but before it was different in 2014, and previously you just had to go in. They had open calls. They don't do that no more.
Gotcha.
So I went in, man, and just worked the room and did my thing, and they signed me.
Gotcha. To pause on that, when he says on time, this is for the youngins out there, even the people that you know who you is, you old enough, but you still know how to get on time to meetings. On time means 15 minutes earlier, maybe 30 minutes early, maybe.
5 minutes early is not even on. Yeah, that's not even on time.
If you on time, if you on time, you late.
Come on.
If you on time, you late.
Man. People take note of that. They take note of that, man. You don't think like you just trying to bypass and just get in there late. Like you always got to be on time, man. And if you aren't on time, you better be a legit reason. Better be legit reason. But yeah, man, it was fun. It's still a growing process. And still, like I said, I was able to do commercials and stuff, and I was able to shoot Revlon with Sierra.
That was about to be my next question. Like, have you worked with like any big time stars or like just entertainers or like athletes within them campaigns or whatever?
Yeah, Sierra, Revlon. I was able to shoot with Adam Levine's wife. I forgot her name, Bella something. Well, I was able to work with her. I was able to work with some pretty cool people. One of my good friends, Calvin George, I was able to work with him, who is now the creative director for Gap. He was also working with Yeezy. So I was able to do some great things and work with some great people. I mean, like an amazing creatives out there, man. But yeah, I was able to do some good stuff, man.
God, what was your favorite campaign, you would say, or top
My
three?
favorite campaign, it will be when I did New York Fashion Week. I did it for a Brazilian company, a soft ganat, uh, and we had Patty Mills. He was out there because he's Brazilian descent, and I just remember being on that runway, man, in New York Fashion Week.
That's
And
big.
I just, I'm trying to just tell myself, like, man, you played in front of
Yeah,
110,000
this shouldn't be
people.
this shouldn't be
This
nothing
shouldn't
to
be
you.
nothing, but it's
Yeah,
an unfamiliar territory.
most
So I
definitely.
just had to
Yeah.
go in there and first and foremost take my time walking because I felt my legs was so weak and I just had tunnel vision. And I just remember, I'm like, yo, when I still watch the video to this day, I'm like, man, why I look so like
You
tensed
said,
up?
you
'Cause
look
I was
tense.
so
Yeah,
nervous. I'm like, this
you
is my
trying to
first
walk the right
campaign.
way. You trying to look a certain way. You trying to have the right look on your
Yeah,
face. That's
yeah,
funny.
man. So it was crazy, but no, it was good times, man. But funny story, man. My mom got me in modeling when I was like 2 or 3 years old. She would take me down to the local mall,
Hmm.
and they had modeling competitions. So when I was a
Oh,
youngin,
oh, you
I
was
was doing
winning them.
competitions,
Yeah.
didn't even know it. So it's
Right.
always been in me. And fast forward, I was able to be represented like on an actual professional level with like I said, with Ford. So I don't take that lightly.
Oh no, yeah, that's obviously that's a full circle moment for
Yeah,
sure. So obviously you've been in modeling. Of course, there's some baddies that be modeling for
they.
sure, for sure. What how was that interaction like when you first got in there?
It was, man, it was fun. I met some great people on set, man, some baddies. But at the end of the day, it's just like I said, when I was on set, as crazy as it sounds, I was just worried about
Yeah.
getting through the work. Of
Mm.
course, I was always, making, conversation with people and stuff. But yeah, man, I had the opportunity to work with some beautiful models out there, man.
They
There's
hit
some
you. They
beautiful
ever
ones.
hit you up for like just in general,
For
like
dating
after?
and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
it's crazy, bro. Like I never
Or they,
dated.
or they be acting bougie.
Not even that. I never dated like someone like on a that scale, like in
Mm.
my industry. Like my ex, she was like a brand ambassador and like an online,
Yeah.
influencer and stuff, but like an actual like someone I was represented, like I said, in my agency or any other
Hmm.
agencies nearby. No, I didn't. But I did my
Had your fair.
thing.
Had your fair share. Had your
Yeah,
fair share.
yeah, come on,
I
man.
mean, you still on the run right now, man. You single now, so you
I'm a
ain't
free
got. You a
agent,
free
man. I'm
agent.
a free agent, but at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm well aware. I'm like always trying to make sure I'm investing my time wisely
Right.
and not wasting it. So, when I'm getting to know, people out there, I'm like, what's your purpose around me? Why you
Got
want to
you.
be around me?
So that's what your focus is now. That's a staple you got to do when you starting a date now.
Got to, man. Got to, especially here in LA. You got to make sure you got
Most
your
definitely.
you got your high beams on because you don't know
Hmm.
what people's intentions are, man. Because think about it, everyone's coming here, everyone's an actor, aspiring actor,
Aspiring
actress.
actor,
Yeah,
actress,
so you're gonna
and
see
brand
they put on a
ambassador,
facade. Everything
model.
gonna be peaches and cream when you first get to know them, but then it's like,
Hmm.
all right, then once you take them out a couple times and whatnot, it's
You
like,
gonna
all
see
right,
the real you,
you're gonna
who
really
you
see
really
it.
is.
Yeah, so I'm like I said, I'm like, I got to be well aware of my surroundings and who am I really bringing into my circle because, you know, I've always conducted and treated myself like I want to always hold myself to a high
A high
standard.
standard, yeah. So you gotta.
And I'm like, at the end of the day, we celebrities.
That's a
They want to be
reflection of you,
around
yeah.
us.
That's a reflection.
You on TV, you playing
Yeah.
on ESPN and stuff. So
Right.
you're the celeb. So you got to always hold
Oh yeah,
that to
most
like
definitely.
be well aware of that. And like I said, when you out in public and stuff, making sure you really scanning the room because
No,
you
yeah.
never know who's
Who's
watching.
watching? That's a true thing too, for
Facts,
sure.
and that's how you got to always treat everybody with respect, even if it is a chick you getting to know and stuff. Like you just never know, how it can affect you because you never know you might need it for work, for business and stuff. So I'm always like, whether if it does last long or whatnot, but I'm always trying to be respectful with anyone I come across.
That's crazy you said that, cause like it's been some females like I didn't try to shoot at like now that we older, but like in middle school or
Yeah,
like high school they wasn't that good looking, and like one
circle
girl,
the
one
block.
girl, one girl hit me with I hit her like I'm like ooh like you look good like how you been what you been up to, and like she already knew like I was trying to get at her, but like she had said like nope I'm not messing with you. You used to talk about me in middle school, which I don't remember though. That's crazy, and
People
like
will
I
hold on
feel
to that,
I
man.
feel bad now, but I feel
Yeah,
like I really didn't do that though.
people will hold on to that,
That's
man.
all
And
they do
like
for sure.
even at UCLA, like I had
Girls try to do that with me too now, but I don't, you know.
Nah, yeah. But you gotta also be careful who you tell your business to. You
Hmm.
know, like we always want to like we get excited. You know,
Yeah,
we always like, hey man, we want to always like have fun and stuff, but you gotta always be protective of your inner self and
most
not making
definitely.
sure like you don't want no gossip.
No, most
You
definitely.
want
That's
it, like I said, your reputation is everything.
it's
Your first impression
everything.
can be your last. So like I just remember like this one chick I came across and like, you know, we just happened to rekindle a couple months ago around the summer. And I don't know dating stuff, but I just
Mm,
happened to see her out. And she was like, yeah, you were the first guy to ever tell me like that I was like attractive, that I was, you know, gorgeous, that I had potential and things like
yeah,
that. And I wasn't even trying to get at her. I just like,
yeah.
yo, man,
You
you're
was
an
being
attractive
real, like
woman.
yeah,
Like,
you being
yeah. I'm like,
real.
you don't even know what you're capable of. And
Hmm.
here she is nowadays. And when she told me, and I was like, wow, I didn't even realize how my words had an impact on her. And that
Yeah.
probably instilled that confidence in her till this
Hmm.
day. And she probably holds on to that, man. So, you know, I'm always just trying to make sure when I'm, you know, talking and having these interactions with people that, you know, I'm just being authentic. What you see
Yeah.
is what you get. I'm not trying to feed no BS, and I'm just trying to, you know,
Keep it real.
keep it real, keep it organic.
No, definitely. I feel like reputation is everything too,
Everything.
especially like who you keep
Of
around,
course.
the company you keep around too. And
Yep.
I feel like you can't be around me if you're doing like some BS for sure,
No.
or if you just holding yourself to a
No.
low standard or anything, because like
You an
that's not
entity,
what
man. You a
literally
business.
right.
You a business, and you got to make sure whoever's around you, whether it's your teammates, anybody, nah, we on the same wave.
Nah,
We
yeah.
not acting out.
Hmm.
We got to always make sure we are always, you know, treading correctly around here.
Yeah, like one of my mentors, my football coach, he said football players hang with football players, athletes hang with athletes.
Hmm.
He was like thugs, he's like gangsters, like they hang with thugs and gangsters. Like you got to keep yourself
You're
around
a
the right
product of
company.
your environment.
Yeah, and that's definitely for sure. Like, and I got people I'm cool with that deal with that, but like I keep that from a distance though.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because like you said, like it's two different worlds we in
Right.
right now. Like we can't cross paths or let that combat for what I got going on
Right.
for real. And I feel like
But
that's the same with women. Oh, go ahead.
you just said that football players hang with football players and stuff.
Hmm.
So on the flip side of that, we are very comfortable in that circle, right?
Right.
But if I have any words of advice for you, your teammates, anybody, and other football players out there, is step outside of that.
Oh yeah, get outside your
You
comfort
got to
zone.
step outside of your
Most
comfort
definitely.
zone, and you got to really, you guys have all these resources at UCLA and all these
Hmm.
other universities. Make sure that you are able to utilize that. Be in front of these donors and be in front of the, you know, the alumni. Make the, you know, reach out to the compliance office and the athletic office and make sure, you know, whether there are gatherings and things like that, step outside of that, man, because this football window is only
It's
certain.
gonna close. It's
It's
gonna
gonna close
close eventually.
eventually,
Yeah.
man. And that was one thing with me when I retired, you know, in 2013. I was able to intern and work with Kobe Bryant and Rob Pelinka when
Mm.
they were at Landmark Sports in El Segundo. And how I got that was through the athletic department. I was like, well, I'm unsure if I want to coach football, but are there any other opportunities that may come up that are, you know, kind of centered around sports? And that's how I was able to get that internship. So, you know, like I said, for you and anyone else, man, do not be afraid to step outside of the circle, man. And, you know, whether it's hanging out with other students outside of football, whether they are athletes or not, man, meet as many people as you can because, you know, you never know who you could cross paths with that could have an impact on you.
No, yeah, that's big for real. Cause like you said, like people don't like to get outside they comfort zone only because like it's uncomfortable for them and like
Got to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
they don't know how to move that way.
Right,
Just like with me doing this, like a lot of people couldn't do this, so like just sitting in front of the camera
right,
talking or just like even interviewing people and just having
right.
to talk. Like people can't do this. Like I know this is I'm very good at talking. I'm good at just getting out of my comfort zone.
Right.
But like this is still like a big deal to do type of deal. Like
Yeah.
every constantly.
It's conversational,
Yeah,
man.
literally. But I definitely agree with that too. And I feel like you said, just like being a product of your environment. Like people, like I said, football player only hang with football players. That's the environment they grew up in,
Of
so that's
course.
all they know
It's a
for real, for
brotherhood.
real. Yeah.
That's a commodity.
No, I definitely, but you definitely should get out of your comfort zone for sure.
Got to.
And that's just for the different networking opportunities
Of
you can have
course.
and relationships for sure.
Yeah.
And like I said, like as far as like the reputation wise, that's the same thing that go with females too. Like I always look at a female and like who her friends is for real. because they say like birds of a feather flock together. I honestly agree with that. I'm not
Yep.
gonna lie. Like it's obviously it could be one oddball. Like you'd be like, okay, that's just her. Cause like even you got an oddball out your close circle, like the friend group. Like
Yeah.
he like the wild one. He like how did y'all meet, or like how did y'all get close in contact with each other?
Yeah.
But like if it's the whole group, I take note of that a little bit.
Yeah. Nah, you got to, but you know, if it is someone I'm trying to get to know, I'm always want to make relationships with everybody.
No,
And
most
then
exactly.
you got to, but then if it's like if it's pulling teeth with everybody, then I'm like I don't know if it is gonna work because at the end of the day, if it's only a certain amount of time we're gonna be together, but if we're gonna all be, you know, around each other collectively, and I'm like we're not vibing,
You're not
we're not
vibing.
gelling,
Yeah.
then I don't know if it's gonna work because at the end of the day, it's like this. We all got to be able to get along, be on the same page, not a different chapter.
Got you. So if you was, going into talking to somebody or dating somebody, what's one thing that a female is a must have for you? Like, what does she have to have for you to?
Integrity. Gotta have integrity. That's number one. You gotta have standards, and I don't settle, man. So like I take my time getting to know someone, and I'm like, that's one thing that people have trouble with is getting to know somebody. Like at the end of the day,
true.
that boyfriend, girlfriend stuff, like that's just a title. Like you got to get to know that person. That got to be your friend. That
A
got
lot
to
of
be.
people rush into
Can't.
relationships.
Yeah, and I'm like,
without even knowing somebody for sure.
Yeah, and I'm a very independent person, and I'm like, I take my time getting to know somebody. So, like I say, integrity, standards, man. You just got to be authentic, be yourself. You ain't got to try and impress me with too much. Just be yourself, because I could sense when it's fake and it's not, and it's not real. But yeah, you got to be genuine. You got to have, charisma. You got to be family oriented. I'm big on that.
Definitely.
On family. So if you ain't got a great relationship with your family, looking at you sideways.
Would you tell them to mend that, or what if she don't want? What if she don't want to mend that? That'd be a minus for you.
If she doesn't want what? I'm sorry.
If she didn't have like a good relationship with her family, and then you like encourage her to like go mend those problems, but she don't want to though.
If you don't have a great relationship with your family, how do you expect to have a family and build a family?
That's true.
You know, we all come from different dynamics and stuff in life, but there are ways to rekindle that relationship. And if you don't have that going for yourself, then it's like I don't really.
That's not what you reckon.
I don't really see it, really working between us, and teach his own. But I need to make sure I'm with someone that has that, that has that family feel, that knows that comes from love, and that's gonna be able to instill it into like I want to have kids one day. I want to build a family. That's gonna be able to instill it to them.
Right. Oh yeah, that's big for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of family, how many kids you want to have? You want to have kids?
I do want to have kids. I say an even number, 2, 4.
I want a dream team. I want
dream
10.
team. Trying to build a starting 5.
I want 10. I'm playing. I can't even do that.
You missed 100% of shots you don't take.
No. Well, 4 is cool. I always say 4 too. That's always,
like
I'm the youngest of 4 too, so
Yeah.
that's why I always say 4.
Nah, but at the end of the day, it's like it all depends on what my shorty, what she want to have,
too.
because us men, we want to be able to have a large family, but it all depends what the lady's able to do and how their body's able to bounce back and stuff. But
no, that's true. No, that's definitely true. Because that really put a toll on women's body. Like I think that's like if I'm not mistaken, I think I learned like that's like the top pain in the world. I think rated.
Sure.
Wise. Yeah.
Nah, but the key is you got to stay phically active, and I'm gonna make sure like when my chick is pregnant,
as soon as you drop that,
you going on these walks.
Oh,
so
yeah.
when you push her out. We gonna make sure we gonna still be gonna still be active.
No, that's
so
real.
you ain't gotta worry about your bounce back's gonna be flawless.
No, yeah, I feel it for sure.
Yeah.
I don't want one child. I always say one child is born.
Yeah.
And I feel like that'd be born for them, and I don't want that for my child. And like I said, I'm the youngest of 4, but like I'm like really the youngest. Like my oldest sibling is 12 years older than me. So like at a point in time, after everybody was like out of high school and like they was in college and out of college, like going on with their lives, I was the only one in the house.
Right.
So like I was bored, and like I was like, dang, I want a brother, like a younger brother. It's like, dang. My mom always tell me like, yeah, son, that ain't gonna happen. I'm sorry. I'd be like, dang.
And I was the only one at home, so I had half siblings, but it was just it was just me.
Yeah.
But my cousins, I treated them as my siblings.
Yeah, and I
was around them every day, whether it's on the way to practice, leaving practice, games, and on the weekends when my mom had to drop me off when she had to work and stuff. I was always around family and stuff, and I treat them as my siblings and stuff. So that's why I'm like, when it comes for me to be a parent, I'll be able to handle it quite well. And I've always, like I said, I've always been around a large family, so
Got you.
it ain't gonna be foreign to me.
Yeah, I like when I was like kind of like the only one in the house, like I was kind of older a little bit though, so
Right.
like it wasn't really that bad to me. But like when I was like younger and it was just starting, it was kind of like I was like, dang. Like other than football, like I was a pretty busy kid like with sports and stuff. But then like obviously it's an off season, so like when nothing was going on, I was in the crib. I used to be bored. I'm like, man, I'm like, bro, I hate. My mom was always like, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm bored. She would like go read a book. I'm like, I'm like, I
You
don't
saying
do
this in
that.
the summer?
Yeah, nah, probably in the summer, like probably winter wise or something
Oh,
like that.
okay, I
Yeah.
got you. Yeah, I
Winter
got you.
wise or like probably
Yeah.
summer too, for real, for
Nah,
real.
I was about to say in the summer I had no time to sit around being
Nah,
bored. I
yeah.
was at summer camps.
Oh yeah, yes.
My
I went
mom
to
would
summer
drop my
camp.
ass off.
I
You
went to
going to
summer
summer
camp.
camp? You know how to sit
Yeah.
around. You
Summer
got
camps summer camp used to be
yeah,
fun too, man.
yeah.
Too.
Nah,
That's crazy.
good times.
What was I about? I was about to ask something before we got on kids too. Oh, would you date a girl with a BBL?
Yeah, nah, I don't discriminate, man.
You
Like,
said you like
at,
it, you like it natural. So I
oh,
was
I
like,
like it natural, but at the end of the day, it's like, is that BBL? Does it fit? You know what I'm saying? You're not about to be walking around
I said
disproportionalized.
do be
Like,
some
you got to make
unproportioned.
sure it's fitting the legs and everything. You ain't about to be walking around looking all, built like
Yeah.
the damn refrigerator or whatnot. But nah, I don't mind as long as that thing, as long as it move, man.
Right.
I
I
don't want to
feel
I
it.
don't want to have nothing just stuck. Like I want to be able to,
Yeah.
it got to
So
move.
would you be an advocate for it, or are you advocate for all natural?
I
You don't
I
discriminate.
don't discriminate, man.
Right.
Everyone got different body types and stuff
True.
like that. But if I could give advice, it all starts in the kitchen, man. You got to eat well. You got to get in that
That
gym.
is
You got to
true.
work out and stuff. But at the end of the day, people like to, have that confidence fulfilled. So do what makes you happy. But,
I
as
know
long as it ain't too crazy.
girls be getting their lips done or they be getting their chest done. It be like, was it really
Nah,
worth it?
man.
Was it?
Yeah.
It's
It's a
cool. I
crazy,
don't discriminate. I don't judge though.
it's a
It's
crazy
everybody's for
world,
everybody.
man. You see some crazy things out there. But at the end of the day, like I said, as long as they happy. But, I don't discriminate.
You said they gotta get in the kitchen. So is you nice in the kitchen? You like you want your woman to be in the kitchen?
I'm straight in the kitchen, but I feel like it's a collaborative effort. Like they got to be able to bring something to the table as well,
Right.
because I'm very disciplined in how I eat. So I feel like you got to be on the same thing as me. Like we're not about to both, I'm not trying to be in the kitchen cooking and all of a sudden you're trying to eat out and stuff all the time. Like make it make sense. Like
Right.
nah, we got to be,
What if she eat healthy but she can't cook though?
better figure it out. Get on YouTube or something. Get on TikTok. Learn some ingredients.
I feel
I'll
it.
do the same. I'll
I
make sure
got
we
you.
expand the menu, but you gotta make it do what it do.
No, I feel it. I feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, some girls don't know how to cook, but they be eating right. So I was like,
You
at
gotta
least you
learn,
got you
man.
got something
Like I
going
said,
on.
man, eating out, it costs.
No, it
You gotta
do
get
for
hey,
sure.
we gotta make
I definitely say I'm more for eating a home cooked meal than going out
of
to eat
course,
for
man.
sure.
You don't know how to, you don't know how these places is preparing your meal and stuff. So you
That
gotta
is
make
true
sure
too.
you cooking it right. You gotta know how you season and all that type of stuff. So
And some
I
people
like
can't
to,
season either, and that be a bummer. Boy, I tell you that. You try to order you some chicken or some salmon or
yeah,
anything, and the season just be off. I be like, oh, I could have did this at home, man.
yeah,
It's
man.
crazy.
That's a little salt and pepper don't hurt.
True, but the salt and pepper don't even be fixing it sometimes either. That's just like that's like the basic one and two for real, for
Nah,
real.
for sure.
And that can bring me to another topic. If you want your girl to if your order get messed up, you want your girl to like go off in the restaurant if your order messed up.
Not go off, but
You know how
I'm not about to sit there and just look at a full plate. I come from a family like we've been in the restaurant business. You get what I'm saying? So it's just all about how you bring it to their attention.
right.
And I'm not about to just waste money and just say, all right, nah, it's okay, we'll just leave.
No,
I'm gonna
yeah.
make sure I'm gonna get the cook's or my waiter's attention and let them know like, hey, something's wrong, but you're not about to sit here and go off and make me look silly.
Nah, yeah.
That's for the birds. We're not doing that.
Yeah,
Because if
nah.
that's how you being in public, you can act like that with somebody else,
True.
not with me. I'm sorry, but nah, that's one thing. I know I've had people that be like, nah, man, they messed up my order. All right, let's go.
Nah, I
Really?
wouldn't leave. Yeah,
Money
I'm
don't
not
grow
leaving.
on
I said I
trees.
ain't leaving for sure.
Nah, we ain't doing that.
I ain't leaving for sure.
No, we ain't doing that.
I got a little toxic feeling about that though, for sure. Like I agree. I don't want all the attention on me,
No.
and I don't want you to create the attention for yourself, like doing
Not
that.
doing that.
But then again, it does make me like you a little bit more if you go crazy for me, just to my food not prepared
You could
right,
go
and now
crazy
you
in a
check,
different
and
sense.
now you kind of check her about it. I'd be like, it really depends. It really depends.
You're not about to make a scene in a restaurant.
Yeah, not a scene though.
And
Not a
everyone's
scene.
like off
Yeah,
base.
not a scene.
Don't
though.
do that.
I'd be like, all
We're
right,
not
that's
doing
too
that.
much.
I'm
yeah.
sorry. Like I said, we celebs, man.
Most
You got to think in
definitely.
that type of
Most
light.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want all the attention. I don't
No.
want all the attention for sure.
Don't do that.
I don't want that.
Nah.
I don't want that for
You'll
sure.
get left right there at that table. I'm out. If you you doing that.
You ever left out on a date?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm like, if I'm trying to pull teeth in a conversation and I'm just like pretty much talking to a wall,
Yeah.
it was nice. It was nice knowing you.
How was that? What was that like? Explain that.
It was just
She was just born.
boring, but like I said, it's a whole different energy through text, right? I'm not really a text person.
I would say I really don't. I would rather
FaceTime. I'm very direct.
or even like talk in person for real. Honestly.
No, of course you can't beat the face-to-face interaction because that tells you what you need to know.
Literally.
But yeah, this person, man, like I said, everything was all good and everything. Text was cool, FaceTime was cool, and then all of a sudden we out, and then it's just like I'm just pretty much having to carry the load of the conversation, and then it just all of a sudden
it's no interaction.
it's no interaction. It's awkward. Then I'm like, you know what? Your interest ain't here. You on your phone.
Oh,
We're not doing that.
That's a bummer.
not doing
I'm
that.
telling you.
Because at the end of the day, I know what I'm. Like I said, I feel like I'm outgoing.
Yeah.
But if you're just about to sit here and all of a sudden be concerned about what's going on Instagram,
I'm not about to give you all my energy and attention.
I'm out of here. Hey, take care. Last time you'll see me.
Did she hit you up again?
Of course. Did I respond? Did I acknowledge it? Absolutely not.
Of course not. You had your chance.
Hey.
You blew it. Congratulations.
Take care. I'm
That's
gone.
crazy. No, I definitely agree with you for sure. Like they be the same way with like text. Like honestly, you can tell I feel like you can tell somebody like how they is through text with like the interaction a little bit if the conversation is going back and forth like that. But then again, I really don't like to text back and forth all day.
No.
I'd rather it be like a conversation through FaceTime or face to face because like you said, like you really get to know somebody, like see how they is for real.
Or just picking up the phone, just simply calling.
Yeah,
At the end of the day,
honestly.
like I understand we all busy, we all got our own schedule and stuff, but it don't take too much effort, man.
True.
If it's something you want, something you like, you'll do it.
Definitely. And I be slacking on that sometimes too.
Why?
I don't know. Honestly, bro, like I'll be busy for sure. Definitely. But I don't be liking to overstep boundaries sometimes, if that makes sense.
In what way?
Like-
What do you mean overstep boundaries?
So we be texting back and forth, and then she don't text me back for a good little minute. So then I can say like, hey, is you busy? I can say she busy. And then if she not busy, okay, we can continue to text. But then if she don't text me back, then it's like, all right, you ain't doing nothing. So I could be like, you want me to call or whoop all of that. I just feel like it's kind of overstepping a little
all that.
bit.
At the end of the day, everybody got that phone in the palm of their hands.
Definitely.
So I'm like, you're not no CEO, like you're not a owner of a Fortune 500 company or whatnot. You're not, a politician or whatnot. You near your phone, so you got some time, and especially when I'm with you and you're on your phone, that's kind of like, like I said, if it's something, there's someone you like, you're gonna make sure you go over it, because then Dave, if you're not doing it, somebody else will. I'm like,
that's true.
I'm like, yo, if I'm feeling you, you're gonna know it. It's coming from me. Like I'm gonna make sure I put forth the effort, and it got to be a two-way street. If I'm always having to, consistently reach out and stuff like that, and I'm not getting a return, then I'll slowly like pull away from it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I got put in my place about not calling too a couple of times. But honestly, it's not that I don't want to. It's just I really don't be thinking of it for real.
Nah, man.
But if they call me, I will answer though. But I do need to. I worked on it though. I'm better at it now though.
Hey, man, we always evolving, man.
Definitely.
Lesson learned.
But no, that was that's the end of the podcast. I appreciate you for coming on, man. That's the end of the Real and Raw podcast, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Be tuned in for more episodes. Peace.